Hello, my name is Joe Brumfield, Senior Director with ASCD. Our team is dedicated to partnering with you to create custom solutions for all of your professional learning needs. On behalf of your friends here at ASCD, I'd like to welcome you to ASCD Webbies. Our Webbies are short clips created by our faculty members to highlight strategies to help educators deliver virtual instruction. Join us every Friday to learn and share some creative ways to deliver instruction with engaging online tools. Our Webbies will be released every Friday on social media accounts as well as ASCD streaming. Follow the hashtag ASCD Faculty Friday to view our latest releases. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Dubé. I teach at James Madison University in Harrisonburg, Virginia, but I also work with teachers in their classrooms as an instructional coach. So the examples you'll see today will be pulled from either one of those scenarios. We're going to be looking at Padlet today. It is one of my favorites because it allows you to do so many things. You can use it to foster collaboration and build community. You can monitor student progress. You can check for understanding, give feedback, and provide differentiated options if you want to. So I want to get started by just exploring some of the things that you can do with Padlet. Building community, something that we all desperately need to do. And it's hard to do sometimes in an online environment, but Padlet allows you to do some of the things that you typically did in your classroom, just do them online. So in this instance, folks went to a Google slide, downloaded an image of a t-shirt and then important images to them and then posted it on Padlet, and we were able to have a discussion. And so it replicated the process that you would have in the classroom. The next example is very similar to that, family flags, but I included this because I wanted you to see that this teacher said, I don't really want to use the Google slide. I would rather draw and do it traditionally. Just as easy. You can snap a picture of that and upload it just as easily as you can a link to something online. I used it to build community at the beginning of a class, and I asked students to post a picture of themselves and then to answer a few questions. I started by modeling myself, the process myself, and then had them do it, and they were supposed to respond to two classmates with something they had in common with them or to ask them a question. And you'll see, you can tell a lot about folks by the pictures that they post, but I loved that they went beyond those two classmates and really, connected with and asked questions of many more of their classmates than I expected. So we walked into the room feeling like we were already bonded, even though we hadn't met yet. I use it as a regular basis. I use Padlet to gather student work now that we've moved online. And so these students, before we moved online, were used to having interactions with their readings with them every week. So 5 important things from their readings. Once we moved online, they could use the format they were already using and just upload it to the Padlet. So Ben uploaded his regular Word doc, Taylor did everything in Google Docs and put a link, and then Peyton and William said, I just want to keep taking notes the way I always did with pen and paper, and so they just snapped pictures of it and uploaded it. So it let us keep doing what we wanted to do, and then every week I would react, then clear, and they would go to the same site the next week and post their interactions again. This is a more specific feedback situation. We looked at a Quizlet on if a piece of praise was growth or a fixed mindset. And then students put the one that was the most confusing to them, and I gave them some feedback right here. So that was a fun way to very, very efficiently figure out the things that tripped them up and be able to address them right in time. You can gather work from small groups as well. This was when we were meeting in face-to-face settings. And so they each posted a we know and a we wonder about the topic we studied that day and explained those things, and then put selfies in there so that I could see who was in the group without them having to type their name. This is a fun feature of Padlet. I wanted to put my students into groups, and I took this picture before everybody had posted, but I wanted to put them in groups according to their favorite choice of strategies. I didn't want them to see what everybody else had chosen, so I didn't want them to pick their group based on who was in the group. Like, oh, Connor likes try mine, I'm going to pick try mine too. So you can set it to anonymous or approval. And so when Braden posted his response, nobody else saw, he just saw a blue screen. He didn't see anybody else who had posted before him. So that way they were choosing what they wanted, not who they wanted to work with. And I was able to put them in groups with some confidence that they were working together based on a shared interest. You can also use Padlet to deliver information. So far we've been looking at collecting information. Padlet lets you generate a QR code so you can send out some task options. These were described on another slide, and then students chose the one they wanted to do and worked on that. Those lead to some classroom management Padlets. I worked this one with some teachers, and I let them pick the article that they wanted to use, and then we used some analytical roll cards to have a discussion that worked no matter what reading they chose. So options are great, and they're so great that this teacher, one of the math teachers that I work with, used the Padlet to both deliver choices. These three things are, these are columns, and she put her 3 choices there, and then students chose their option, wrote their answer, and then showed their work. So they could just take a picture from their laptop of their work. So it's a nice way to be able to collect both, stuff that you can write and stuff that needs to be more visual. And I like that it's all here. She saw what they chose as well as how they were thinking. So that's a lot of different things that you can do with Padlet. I want to explore a little bit of how it works. And so I'm going to go to another screen here. And I wanted to just show you here that there's all kinds of different things. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. So I can just type in this box right here. If I want to upload a link, I just, let's try that. Whoops, not that. And boom, there it is. If I decide I don't want that, I can go back to the edit function, supposedly. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's go back here, and I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to, instead of doing a link this time, I'm going to pick a file from my computer. Let's go over here, and we'll choose, here is a picture of Theo, my dog. And that's an illustration of how little personal space he gives me. So that's just different things that students can do. You'll also notice that if you go to the edit feature, if I go over here and I edit, there's a whole lot of other things that I can do. Let's see right here. I can transfer my post, I can delete my post, I can copy it, I can do all kinds of things. It even allows you to, if you want, to go down here and pick a microphone, and you can hit the microphone and students can just record their voices instead. So lots of fun things that you can do. In terms of formatting, I want to show you a little bit about the formatting of this. You'll notice you've seen a lot of backgrounds and stuff, and that all comes from the wallpaper. The wallpaper, you can do solid colors, you can do gradients. My favorite, I think, is the textures and the patterns, and you can pick this so I can say, oh, I don't really like that so much. I'm going to go instead with this right here. And then we can say, you know what, I don't really like my icon so much. I want us to feel good about the review, so I'm going to use a smiley face and change that. I'm going to save it. I'm allowed to let students like. They can vote, they can give it 1 to 5 stars, they can grade. I can grade. I can put a profanity filter, and here's the anonymous setting that we saw a minute ago. That's where you do some of your changes. Over here is where you do others. So you can keep remaking this and copy it if you want to use it over and over again. Here's where you clear your posts. Here's where you can change the format. If this is hard to see, you can move, you've got all these options. You can move to a stream, and then it's easier to see one at a time. And then finally, I just wanted to share the share options. So if you're sharing here, you can copy the link, you can copy a QR code, you can share it on email, Facebook, Twitter, Google Classroom. That's pretty clutch. You can save it as an image, a PDF, even a spreadsheet if you want to, or you can print it. And there's an option on here as well to archive it. So I have my collection here, and that's everything I've made, but I've also moved them into different groups so I can find things more easily. So I hope that you can see how flexible and fluid Padlet is. It's one tool that allows you to do an awful lot of things. And so I would recommend looking into, is this something that if you're a teacher, would your administrator support purchasing? It's not outlandish, but you don't need to purchase anything. You can just do your 3 boards for free. And I think that you'll find that the pros outweigh the cons with a tool like this. So I invite you to just start a free account and start playing with it and see how you can use it. If you have questions, if you want to share something you've done with me, you can reach me at my email address, which is right there. You can go to my website, or you can shout at me at Twitter at KJ Dubé. So thank you so much for your time. And I know ASCD would love to hear from you as well. Happy Faculty Friday.